everyone, welcome back to Third Shop Podcast. We've got another great episode in store for you, but before we get into it, please go to our social media. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Third Shop Podcast or on X at Third Shop Pod. You can also find all of our previous episodes, blog posts, and more on our website, thirdshoppodcast.com. Today, we have got a very special announcement from Uncle Greg. So let's do our first toast to Uncle Greg and his good news.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
So, yes, I do have wonderful news. Yesterday, I got a call from my oldest daughter, and she is going to get married. Her longtime boyfriend proposed to her yesterday.
Yay!
I
I,
know.
I was so excited to hear the news. She sent out a family text to everybody to share with some photos. And the ring is beautiful, and they have been together for a while now. And it's just really cute to see them kind of take this next step.
I know. It's so emotional. Like she sent us a video. So her fiance, I had to change that. I almost said boyfriend, but her fiance secretly, well, not secretly, but he set up the camera to film, but he kind of made it seem like, "Oh, we're just going to take some pictures together. I'm just going to film it so we could just clip whatever pictures that we like, right?" And then
Uh-huh.
they were started posing and then all of a sudden he asked her and he sent us the whole video. Oh my gosh, I got all choked up. I started tearing up. I got so emotional.
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, I'm a mess." I was just so happy that I mean, I couldn't control it. It just happened. I did not expect that to
Yeah.
happen the way it did, but man, it just came on.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. So they were away on a trip for Valentine's Day, is that right? Because it was Valentine's Day
Yeah.
weekend?
They went back to, Santa Cruz where they went to college, and there's an arboretum, which is beautiful. We've been down there a few times, and, they decided to celebrate Valentine's Day and then have a picnic, and the weather was clear. It was a beautiful day, and that's where he did it. He hired photographer to kinda hide and take pictures of the
Oh,
whole
wow.
situation. Yeah, the whole
Uh-huh.
ins yeah. So, we haven't seen those pictures yet, but they are gonna be coming.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see them. We'll have to post a couple too on our page.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's so funny because in the video, you could hear the shutter going on like they did all these pictures, and I'm going like, I asked it, I go, "Did you know somebody was taking pictures?" And they go, "Yeah, but I just thought they were just taking pictures of, the arboretum and stuff like that." And all
Oh,
of a
right,
sudden,
that makes
I
sense.
figured it all out. I go, "Oh, taking pictures of us." But
She's so
secretly in the moment, and then afterwards, they took, like, official pictures and stuff. Yeah, so cool.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to see her. I'll be seeing her soon for the bachelorette party, so
Yes,
she'll have
how's
to
that
share
coming
all of her
along? 2
stories with.
weddings coming up in the family.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's happening very fast. So we've got about 2 months left.
Yeah,
In a couple weeks here, we'll be celebrating the bachelorette party. Um, it's just like final details and realizing like, oh my gosh, I need to order this and I still need to like design the table numbers and at this point, I think that it's just like the fun little things,
right.
like the decor, but the major stuff, the venue, food, transportation, everything is already planned out. So we're just kind of like revisiting the plan every chance that we get because he works kind of off hours from me. So whenever we have off time together, it's like, okay, let's kind of like reassess where we're at with this wedding planning.
Yeah. So but the bachelorette party's coming, so you get to have some fun with family and
Yes.
friends. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be super fun.
I don't even know how many people are going to your bachelorette party. I know you're doing kind of a staycation or a vacation somewhere. How many people are going with you?
I think we've got a group of 8. So it'll be myself, and then the 5, bridesmaids, and then 2 other friends.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You must be looking forward to that. That's
Oh my
gonna be
gosh.
so much fun.
It is, and, even though, like, actually, I think at this point, everybody has met each other at least once or knows about each other. Like, everybody knows my cousins because I talk about them, and, like, we grew up so close. So when they met me, they kind of just get to know them through me. And then
Yeah.
all of my friends have met each other at this point. So it's gonna be a really good time. We're getting a cabin, just kind of doing like a little weekend, just relax. And my friend, it's funny, she was like, one of the themes right now that's popular for older women, I guess over 30-year-old, to be getting married, which I hate. And she was like, one of the themes is girls gone mild instead of wild, which is hilarious because like we're not much drinkers. So it's just gonna be like a vacation. Like we're just all gonna be hanging out and having a good time, like a giant sleepover.
Well, you probably need a little relaxation time and getaway time anyway, right? With everything going on
Yes.
in your life right now and the planning and you just need kind of a decompress weekend
Yeah, that'll be nice to just be able to step away for a couple days and then
and
right back
around.
to it.
Yeah, but you're gonna be around your best friends, your family, people that love you. It's just gonna be, I mean, how often does that actually happen anymore?
Yeah.
Where, you get an opportunity to do that. I can't even think the last time I went on a vacation with a lot of my friends, like you said, 8 people, like, I haven't done that, in probably a decade.
That's so true. And I'm glad you kind of shift the perspective like that because coming out of college, it's so easy just to go make plans with friends and like
Yeah.
everybody's schedules aren't as tight as they are as they get older and start their own families. So, this is going to be fantastic. And I'm going to try my hardest to make sure that this happens again after the bachelorette party.
Oh, good.
Yes. We'll
When
have
you
to like an anniversary bachelorette party.
you had me confused and worried for a second there. Like you said, "I wanna make sure this happens again." I'm like, "Is she gonna get married twice?
No,
Wait a second. Is she
heck
already planning on the second one?"
no. Absolutely not. But the party part, the fun stuff, yes.
Good. Yeah, well, that is so true. We should try to make these things happen as often, like once every 5 years, 10 years, whatever, just to get that core group of people that are special to you back together and just go hang out.
Right? Like a reunion.
Yeah. Now, did you ever think about having guys and girls as part of like a bachelor and bachelorette party together? Because some people do that as well.
I have thought of it, but I think it was more so like younger when I didn't even like before I even met my partner. Like it was just, when you kind of plan out what your future is going to look like and you see other people having these types of parties, it's like, what would I like?
Mhm.
But for this one, with timing and like most of his, actually, I think all of his, what is it, bridal party, his groomsmen, all are traveling into Vegas. So it would be really tough to coordinate both groups of women and men
Together.
to come.
Yeah.
For one. But maybe in the future when we do our reunion, we'll be able to do it. If we do
Yeah.
like a 5-year thing,
Yeah,
I would
just
love
do
that.
do it in Vegas or, you have so many cool places in Vegas that maybe you haven't stayed at yet or haven't experienced yet. There's new things popping up all the time.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, so by that time, there's probably gonna be something new.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I see all the news of the crazy things that are popping up in Vegas, like new downtown's gonna happen, like a new tech
Right.
tech area of Vegas is being built. The Hollywood 2.0 is being built. I mean, with all of that, there's gonna be so much coming into the area.
Yeah, it does feel like that. I think it's shifting a little bit towards kind of LA, like how large it's gonna be. We've got, like you mentioned, the Hollywood thing happening and everything else, so I don't know, it's just a really fun place to be, and you're not so far away too, so you get to come experience it.
Oh, yeah. I can maybe more time down the road. We'll see.
Yes.
So going back to your wedding, like, so when he proposed, did you have any idea? Because my daughter had no idea that it was coming.
I love that she was so shocked, and I can't wait to see video footage because I know like how Sydney is to kind
Yeah,
of just like get an idea of how her reaction was. But
yeah,
for me, I kind of knew. I did have a little bit of an idea because leading up to our trip, he proposed in Jamaica. Leading up to that trip, he had asked my parents at a dinner, like I was at the dinner too, and I knew it was going to happen. And then we had gone ring shopping together so he can get an idea of my size and what style I liked. And then he was acting super weird on the vacation. So I was like, something's up.
ah.
And he had asked, yeah, he asked to watch the sunrise the next morning. And like, he knows I'm not a morning person, but I was like, yeah, sure. Like, that's fine. We're on vacation, whatever. I can get up. And that was a little strange, but really like set it off was he's like, well, what are you gonna wear? And I was like, to what? To watch the sunrise. And I was like, probably just whatever I wake up in. I'll just run outside, you know. But he was like, oh, maybe you should wear a dress. And then I was like, okay, he's doing something strange.
Well, he had it all planned out. I mean, he had a really nice setup for where he was going to propose to you, right?
Yeah, yeah. He was like scoping it out when we were walking around we stayed at a resort. He like scoped it out the day before and found this really pretty gazebo, and it was kind of like on a little peninsula off the shoreline. So it
Yeah.
was just the gazebo, and then we could see the sunrise next to us, right next to the water. And it was so early that there was like nobody out there. And he brought these like giant marquee letters that said "Marry Me" and had it out with some rose petals. It was really sweet.
That is so romantic.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He is
We've
a
got
good
some
one.
good guys in our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could say the same, but I met a good woman in my life. Good women are
You are the
surrounding
good
me. Yeah.
guy.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool to talk about the relationships and for me, it's Valentine's Day just passed and I posted something that is like this is our 31st Valentine's Day together with me and Auntie.
That's a big to do. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I thought back on it like it really has flown by. I mean, I can remember when we were first dating, our first Valentine's Day together, and then now, my daughter is getting, just got proposed to on Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, it's just wild to think how
Yeah.
time passes and all the things that have happened and the relationships and we're gonna have 2 weddings coming up in the next 12 months probably between you and Sydney and holy moly. It's a great time. It's a great time in our lives.
It really is. I couldn't be happier for, well, Sydney and then you all as a family to be able to see that. So hopefully I get to be a part of the wedding and be there to help celebrate as well. So I can't wait.
I
Love
know.
is in the air.
It truly is. And speaking of weddings, that's a perfect lead-in for our guests today because Mindy and Doug actually got married on a pickleball court, and they are competitive pickleball players together, and we cannot wait to hear their story and their journey together. And as we bring them into the studio, the Third Shot podcast studios here, it gives everybody an opportunity to go on to our social media, check out our Instagram and Facebook at Third Shot Podcast, X at Third Shot Pod, and go on to our what am I trying to say? I'm flustered because of the whole wedding thing. But our podcast platforms, whether it's Apple or Spotify, we're on pretty much all of them. Check us out, Third Shot Podcast, and please subscribe because it really does help support this show. And let's bring on Mindy and Doug. Mindy and Doug, welcome to Third Shot.
Thank
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
Hello.
We're so
Greetings from
excited to
Florida.
have you.
Thank you.
All right, before we jump into it, because you all have such an amazing story to share with all of us, we're going to do a little toast to you, Doug, and Mindy.
Thank you.
We're going to do 3 toast.
Oh, yes. Love that. What are you
Bourbon.
drinking?
Cheers.
We are drinking bourbon. We have a flight of E.H. Taylor. We have Weller's, and we have
Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare, all from Kentucky bourbons.
Oh, nice.
And what's the whole Kentucky tie?
Well, see, I'm from Kentucky. Mindy was from Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana. So my whole life was born in school in Kentucky. So I think bourbon, I don't know, maybe it was required in elementary school. We had to have these in our sippy cups. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Is it flowing through your veins at this point?
Yes. It is starting right now. Yes.
Love that. So, as I mentioned, you two have a wonderful story to share with us. So, I don't want to delay that part anymore. Share with us and the audience the wonderful love story between you two, how you met, and where you all got married.
Yes, we met through pickleball about 5 years ago. We were both at a pickleball camp before camps were super popular, but this was through Suncoast Camp. That's owned and run by Russell Eleftherian. We were both campers there. And so we started talking at one of those camps. And like Doug mentioned, we're long distance relationship, but we met there and just started seeing each other at tournaments. We were a friendship at first. We have a lot in common. We're both from the healthcare field. We both had started pickleball around that time. We both have 3 children. We both love bourbon. So the friendship grew into a romance. And
yeah, it was a camp, and I was a little butthurt because she was in a higher group than me at that time.
Oh.
But we was in a relationship, but I was just like, I think I could be in her group.
It inspired you, right?
Yeah. I don't know, but we ended up getting engaged at that same location several years ago. And then the Russell Eleftherian, who owns that camp, had asked me if I would consider teaching. And I had come several times to the camp, and I said, well, let me look into it. So I have some teaching background and got certified. And so he was my start to my pickleball career. I'm a full-time coach now for the past 3.5 years or so. So that place was special to us for a lot of reasons. And in September of 23, we got married there on a pickleball court. And senior pro player Bob White, he's also a pastor. He was there teaching with me at a camp. So we had a camp. We got married on a Saturday there.
The camp ended on a Friday, so we had to get things ready on Saturday.
We got married on Saturday, and then the new group of campers came in on Sunday.
64 people come rolling. No idea. We had the whole place set up for a wedding. What was unique was they had some portable nets, so we made an aisle out of the portable nets.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so smart.
Yeah, and then we had paddles under everyone's seat. It was just a few friends and some fellow pickleballers and family members, and we had a paddle under everybody's seat. So at the end of the ceremony, they made a paddle tunnel for us.
The pastor goes, reach under your thing, and you all could stand by the nets and made
the tunnel.
So we were so corny, but that's us. We loved it.
Oh, that's not corny. That's so romantic. Cute. That's pickleball romance right there.
Yeah.
They're so romantic. The very next day, 64 people come in. We're like, all right, now we got to get to work. It's been less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
We'll honeymoon later.
So, Brigie and I were talking a little bit about the whole proposal for Brigie, fiance did it really romantically in Jamaica. My daughter, they just got proposed or engaged in Santa Cruz and Arboretum. So you went to you told me where you did it. Now, Mindy, did you have any expectation that it was going to happen at that time? Was it a complete surprise?
Well, we had talked about it, that, it was something that we definitely wanted to do, get married. but I didn't know when or where. And so the scene is in Montreat, so it's near Asheville. So it's beautiful in North Carolina there where this place is. But there's a creek that kind of runs along the property, and it's something that we would hike along, and a bench right there by the lake is where we had our first kiss. So we had gone on that walk, and then we were sitting on that bench, and Doug said, we had our, we talked about our past there, where we were at. And he said, hey, I'd like to talk about our future. And he pulled out a ring. So it was very romantic to me. And it was just special memory wise. And then he's
pulled out 2 rings. I pulled actually 2 rings to make it, to be in spirit with my character. Go ahead.
Yeah. He's a character. But he said, he gave me a ring, one of those big candy rings, one of those that have plastic.
No, wait, I gave an actual ring first. Let's clear here. There was an actual serious diamond ring. Yeah. And then we got through those emotions of that. I go, there's still one more ring I want to give you.
Yes. And he said, this is to symbolize always having fun in our relationship.
On the court, court, off the court, in life, laugh, smile, and be playful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And it's so sentimental. Congrats to you too.
Yeah,
well. Thank you. So let's fast forward a little bit to the honeymoon, because you mentioned holding off the pickleball until the honeymoon. I am curious though, did you two play any pickleball on your actual honeymoon?
Oh yes.
Yes, of course we did.
I love that.
What, 10 feet from the U.S. Virgin Island waters.
Yeah, we went to Water Island. We have so many amazing friends through pickleball. Let me just say, it's one of the best things about this sport is the people you meet. And a lot of people probably know her, Jean Ann Stasny. She started the Texas Open. So she was from Texas, but now lives on Water Island, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so she kind of gifted her house to us for a week for our honeymoon.
Oh,
and they have a court right on the water. So it's, sand, and it was a playful court, but of course we played. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
So the two of you play a lot of pickleball together competitively.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So, what's interesting is we had the authors of In a Pickle, and it's a book about couples playing pickleball together and helping them through some of the stresses that happen at times. I'm just curious, like, how do you guys get through it? And do you see that with other couples that you play against, that, they're having a difficult time maneuvering being a couple and playing doubles together?
Yes. Yes. I think we've said to each other that our relationship is more important than the game. So we want to make sure that we try to remember that in the heat of the moment. And to be honest, he's way better at that than me. I tend to be a little bit competitive and aggressive, and he's very a calming influence, and it'll be okay. And but yes, I think we've enjoyed competing together, and it's a blessing to be able to compete together, because a lot of people cannot do that. So we've enjoyed it. We try to say to ourselves, we want to be able to go out afterwards and have a good time. And
for the opponents to go, I enjoy being with you all on the court and off the court. That's kind of a goal of ours, and so that the opponents don't walk away. We hate them. They were worst couple. They fought all the time. We don't want to do that. So we want them to go out with us and have a drink with us.
Yes.
Afterwards. So that's kind of, we want to be that and portray that.
One of our role models in that is Jim and Yvonne Hackenberg. They are amazing couple on and off the court, and a good example of what it's like to play with your spouse.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we always advertise when people say, "Oh, teach us when we do camps or instructions, how we can work together." I go, well, it can be done. We always kind of start with that. So there's our starting point. It can be done.
Yes. And in coaching, I often wish I had a therapy degree, but I don't. I feel like if you could do psychotherapy as well, it would be a benefit to you as a coach. But we all have to work through our own personalities, whether it's our partner in life or our partner on the court, how to be a good team together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. When you teach, do you see a lot of couples who are taking the same course, or is it usually just people going out on their own?
Yeah, I would say there are some couples that do play together and come to the court wanting to play together at various levels. And there's some couples that are like, nope, we've decided this doesn't help our relationship in any way, and we're better off not playing together. So know yourself, right? Know your relationship. There are couples that like to play together that are not the same level, skill level. So they will, enjoy recreational play, or they'll travel together to tournaments or wherever they're going to be playing and play in their own skill level, but they can still travel together and kind of be in each other's world together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Doug, do you also teach with Mindy?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. She pays me 1 cent per ball that I pick
Nice.
up.
Okay.
So I'm about $8.64 into my retirement. I do. So for me, though, I work. So we have a unique relationship, and we have a house together, which we're talking to you from Florida. But also, I live in Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. So I'm going back and forth all the time. But I also travel to her. She travels all around the nation. So I mean, I teach with her. I'm certified as well. I'm just always call her. I'm her assistant, and it's whatever.
And my eye candy, really. Yeah. No, he still works full time. We're in our early 50s, so we both still are working. I just happen to be teaching, and he works at the Veterans Hospital in Lexington.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but Mindy she's been doing the full time 4 years,
almost a little over 3 years.
Yeah. 3 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's admirable, though, because I know how much coordinating that must take between the two of you and who's flying where and where you all are going to meet up. It takes a lot, and it takes great communication. I was going to ask you all about your pickleball history, because it sounds like you all are playing at a very high level and you're instructing. So how did you all get introduced into the sport, and how long have you been playing?
I started in 2017, and it was my dad who introduced me to the sport. I come from a family of 3 brothers. I'm the only girl. We always did sporty things. Growing up, my sport was volleyball. I had no racket sport background. My dad played baseball pretty competitively, but he played all kinds of sports. So he retired, and he said, "Oh, I got a sport I want to teach you." So that's how I got started in it. And I wasn't that thrilled, to be honest, because it looked like a bunch of old people. I'm like, "Okay, Dad." But as I got to learn more about the sport, I'm like, okay, this is played at all levels with all ages. And it was something I could do with my dad. In fact, we did play a tournament together, and he played at my age level, and we won our bracket. So it's like, it's just something special. He came to camp with me at this Suncoast camp. He came to camp with me for a week. Went a couple days early and did like a beer crawl beforehand. And I don't know, it was really great to be able to spend time with him in that way. So that's where I started and how I learned.
That was probably 2016. I'm at work. I get a call. Hey, Doug, can you cover for me today about 5:30? And it's about 3 hours, before 5:30. I'm playing this game called Pickleball. I'm like, what is that? I have no idea. Never heard of it. I go, how do you play? I need to, what kind of shoes are, what kind of clothes? He goes, he was in a rush because he had to get to a meeting. And I was still working. He goes, I tell you what, just YouTube the word pickleball, show up. Good luck. Don't make me look bad. Click. And so I just spent the next hour, YouTubing pickleball. And I kind of walked on there. I go, so this is like if you took people and you shrunk them and you stuck them on a ping pong table. This is what the sport is.
Yeah, and Doug had a background.
Yeah, always like challenge people. It's like, hey, guess my background. Guess what? We all have some kind of sporting background. After 5 minutes, no one ever gets it right. Then they go off in crazy tangents. Oh, you were a jockey because you're from Kentucky. Well, I'm way too big for being a jockey person. They're like, we don't know. We give up. So for me, from birth past college, I was a competitive gymnast. I did gymnastics. So
nice.
Like, what did that have to do with this? Well, if I fall on the court, I can do a great roll, pop up, do a handstand, do a pirouette, and go ta-da.
You stick that landing, right?
You stick the landing, yep. if I could fall into the splits and where people will cringe and cry and hold themselves, I'm like, oh, that's no big deal.
No big deal.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so for me, I'm very fortunate. I always think, I don't know if it's true or not, but I just think because of those so many years of being intensely focused on flexibility, I mean, I really have no injuries. I'm going to keep saying I'm lucky, or maybe that was a component of it. But gymnastics was and volleyball was the Mindy.
Yep.
Well, Mindy, your dad sounded special.
He's very
Because
special.
yeah, and he must have been just a great guy, because I guess they did something really nice for him after he passed.
Yes, yes. My mom still has a lake house up in that area, up in Western New York, and he was part of getting those 3 courts first surfaced. But we did the full thing. We fenced it. We put in trees. We got the nice, nationals nets.
The Palm Springs. Yeah.
And so yes, he was loved by a lot of people, and he helped a lot of people on and off the court. But yes, he was a special guy, and he was a competitor. I think both of us grew up in families that maybe helped us have a competitive drive. And so that was part of our improvement process, because we came in definitely as 3-5 players, 3-0-3-5 players, and just through a lot of camps, coaching, time on the court, drilling, practicing. And we just played in Daytona at the APP Vlasic Classic Pictona. We played 5-0. We got silver. So we're happy to compete at that level. I've tried my hand a little bit at senior pro. I teach so much. I'm not in the training realm at this moment, but we enjoy just competing together.
And how I can honor her dad is that she talked about they played in tournaments together. So he had a shirt. Of course, everybody has their favorite pickleball shirt. So he passed away. She kind of, here, this is your size. Would you wear this? And so I'm very strategic on a tournament that I will wear it with her, but I'm like, okay, I have to do this shirt on her. And I'm going to chase every ball, dive. I don't care. I'm going to try my best. So if I wear it, it's a lot of pressure.
My dad never knew Doug,
No.
but if he did, he would have loved him. Yeah, for sure.
Aww. Well, congratulations on the silver medal. That is very impressive. What is next for the two of you? Do you have any tournaments coming up? Are you training for something special?
Probably next for us is some of our teaching things we're doing. We've enjoyed teaching for Pickleball in Paradise vacations. We just did a trip to Jamaica a couple months ago.
You mentioned Jamaica. Sandals South Coast is where we taught at. It was so fun.
Yeah. And then coming up here this year, we have one in the Bahamas at the Sandals Royal Bahamian. We have one at Turks and Caicos at the Beaches Resort there. So we're looking forward to those teaching gigs and doing some other teaching things together. We have one coming up in Vermont.
Massachusetts. Helen, Georgia.
Some different places where we teach. So we've been enjoying that. And when we can pick up a tournament here or there, we definitely like to do that. In the villages here, we play local money balls. That's super fun. It's inexpensive. Tournaments have gotten expensive to travel and play. And so we're fortunate to have a good group of players here in the villages. And so people will organize mixed doubles, money balls. And so we do that regularly here and enjoy that and enjoy going to have a drink with our friends afterward.
You win money, low cost. You go out to eat afterwards. There's no hotel travel. And, I mean, it has all those elements without paying the $300+ for tournament.
Plus the dollars doesn't hurt. Hey, Doug, I gotta ask you. You said you work at the VA hospital. We had a previous guest, Jaeger, who volunteers at the VA. He's a veteran, and he introduces pickleball to a lot of the people that are suffering from PTSD. And I was wondering, have you introduced pickleball to some of the people that you've met through the hospital?
I call it failure to launch. So the answer is yes. Failure. We have some property at our hospital, and I've been, pushing to get. It's like an old basketball court that looks very like ghetto run down because it hasn't had any love put to it. So I have tried to push for that, and I get traction, and then something economically or in whatever the financial or cultural crisis, things just get changed. So we do have a portable net. For me, it's it's the people who come, they're there for like, let's say a month, they're for substance abuse or PTSD. So I would call it more of your younger veterans, probably your 30s and 40s. So that angle is all I've been able to get hold of. I wanted to open it up so that we would advertise it so that, you're not sick, you're not in hospital, but you like pickleball, come play on our property. And it's just tough to say, yes, any veteran can come on property and play this sport. So it's just tough. It's a lot of traction. There's a lot of bureaucracy, but failure to launch, but keep trying. But yes,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Good luck on
It
that.
really is.
Good luck. I hope you can do that.
I
Pull it off.
appreciate that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Doug and Mindy, so much for sharing your pickleball love story with us. It's been such a pleasure to hear your where you all started, the engagement, the beautiful wedding that took place, and what's next to come. Let's do one more toast to you both.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. What
Oh
a
my
fun
gosh,
day.
it's been so much fun. I love your story.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Love is definitely in the air, and pickleball is bringing more and more couples together.
And
We
couples
Yes,
can
we
play
love to see
together. Yeah, couples
Yeah.
can play together. That's the message. You can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to, after this recording, I'm going to go out and play with my pickleball wife, who's also named Brigie. So, it's funny. We play mixed doubles together on Sundays, and everybody goes, "Oh, your pickleball husband, your pickleball wife." That's how we're known out in the courts nowadays.
I love it.
Well, I call her my girlfriend on the court because it makes it fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and we are definitely going to keep in touch. And for everybody listening, thank you for joining Third Shot, where Bridget and I will continue to share our pickleball journey. Real special thanks to Mindy and Doug for coming on today and sharing
Absolutely.
their journey and their love story. It seems like it's happening more and more, but to actually get married on the pickleball court, that is something
Pickleball court,
extra special.
Yeah.
Hey, and everybody listening, if you have some type of relationship that is tied to pickleball, we would love to hear your story. So, go on to our social media, our Instagram, wherever, reach out to us, email us, and tell us your story. And maybe we can have you on the show, just like Mindy and Doug.
All right.
Let's continue to share our journey and our enjoyment for the game and grow this pickleball community together. See you next time on Third Shot Podcast.